3. So it gets more and more interesting. I would say one of the next greatest things that I learned is that no matter where you go, you're going to take yourself with you. And at the top layer of that, it seems very simple. It seems very like, yeah, that's obvious. But here's the thing. If you're in an organization and you experience that that organization has flaws or has things that you see, there's something that's really interesting. A really smart person told me that the reason why you're seeing those things is because you more than likely have the skill set to fix it. Now, how many of us actually decide to help fix that? That's a whole different element. But at the end of the day, you have to realize that who you are and the brand of being that you are, you have certain skill sets that no matter whether it is you are going to your church, whether you're going through your business, heck, sometimes it might be even when you're going into your relationship, that you're going to have these things that just that you see them and you can't do anything but continuously have it on your radar. Why? And that's what I mean by when wherever you go, you're going to take yourself with you and you're going to spot these things. Now, here's the thing that's hard is that you may be in an organization and you might be saying, I feel trapped. You might be saying, what could I possibly do to move the measure, move the mark, and be somebody that's going to be able to have enough clout, influence, or even just skills and capabilities to get it done. I think that's where the beginning of the adventure is. Now, I know that in my role before, one of the things that I had to make a decision. And that decision for me was that I needed to find ways to always be ready to serve every person who ever called upon my role, even if they didn't report to me. Why? Well, part of it was because I understood that I was collectively being compensated by each and every representative that was below my role. And my own personal guidance system was telling me that when I was in that role and similarly in that space, I didn't always have access to know the right person who could speak the way that would resonate with me and drive me to action. And so I created a bit of a philosophy that whatever I could not find, I would become. Now, I can tell you that at the same time, there's always an element of frustration that kind of comes with that because your role might not allow you to move at the speed of influence that you wish to have. And so learning and understanding what influence you really are engaged in is also really key. Many of us have had scenarios where we have a circle of friends and colleagues, and it's I mean they're real relationships. They're absolutely real. But if something changes, if you change, if the direction of your life changes, if your role all of a sudden has a different sphere that it needs to be in, you're going to quickly realize that in most work environments, not all, but in a lot of work environments, in a lot of organizations, the depth of relationship goes only as deep as your ability to help somebody achieve their goals. So if you happen to be a sales leader and you have salespeople underneath you, and those people have experienced prosperity, like they're gonna love you until you're gone. Um, but it's also going to be interesting to see how many of them follow you. And so when you're thinking about influence, I always used to wonder what what degrees of influence do I have? Right? Do you have the ability to have influence where you have a conversation with somebody, you build a relationship, and there's that one-on-one degree of influence? Are you able to actually go a second generation away from that person where the relationship with this person is so impactful that it ends up giving you an in to the next person and the next person? Can you get three generations away where that third person in this third generation is saying, hey, you know what? I heard from so and so that if I have a problem, you're the right person. And so, no matter what, no matter where your life is taking you, the ability to solve problems is one of the greatest skill sets that you could ever have. And if you can identify problems and you see it, you have to be able to grasp a hold of that and realize that the reason why you're seeing it is because within you, you possess the skill sets that can actually change that thing and have an impact and actually fix it. Now it's your choice if you ignore it. It's your choice if you look at it and say, there's no possible way that me, with my talents, with my skill set, with my tenure, that I can fix it. Or there are those of you who actually look at this and say, why not me? Right? Why not me? I see it. I think I have some ideas. And then you need to execute it. And I'm going to put this challenge out there to you because I'm like, hey, I am a strong, firm believer that when ideas, when ideas come, God gives ideas. Right? I don't think He's ever just giving it to one person. I think that those ideas land on, person, let's say, 100 people, right? And we've all been in that space where you're standing in the shower, you're just sitting in the yard, and you just have this idea, and you're like, man, wouldn't it be really cool if I had this and this and this, and it did this and this and this? Now, the interesting thing is that if you look at the law of numbers, most of those people that got that idea, it'll just stay as an idea, but it will come to reality because let's just say 10 people are like, you know what, I can't shake that idea. I'm going to run some testing. I'm going to do some things. I'm going to try to do this and develop it. Then you're going to have another group of those 10 within that 10, but they don't only just test it, but they actually move it into actually being a prototype. They actually move it into actually happening. And then it shows up. And the funny thing, and I would love to have this discussion with anybody, but don't you think it's interesting how many of us, we see a product that comes into the marketplace and it's like that idea, it's like it comes right back around when it comes into reality. And we all have that moment where, like, you know what, I had that idea. That is a very intriguing process. And I hope that for some of you it drives some deeper thought because guess what? Do you want to be the person who just had a great idea or just noticed something and then sometime later in your life you say it comes to reality and you're like, oh yeah, I remember I had that idea? Or do you want to be that person who actually grabs a hold of it and says, I have this idea. I think that idea could come to reality with my skill set and who I am. And you're going to try. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Because I can tell you right now that when change happens, whether you choose to have that change or whether it happens to you, your ability to spot things and your ability to be the answer for the problem that's standing in front of you will not change. I hope these are getting to be intriguing. I hope that it's driving some conversation, but I also hope that it's empowering you. So as you go into tomorrow and you go into this month and you go to that next meeting and you start to have those moments where you're looking around and you're like, oh my gosh, I wish somebody would just do this. I wish somebody would just fix this. Start answering the question yourself. How could I fix it? How could I fix this? Why am I, what skill sets do I have that if somebody knew, I could utilize it to solve this problem? And let's just see what happens. But I'm telling you that no matter where you go, you're going to take yourself with you. That amazing brain of yours, those skill sets that you have, there are going to be things that you are going to see. That you're going to see. You're just going to sit there and just be like, that's an interesting thought and move forward. Because that next thought could be your path to ultimate freedom on so many different levels. So with that, have an amazing rest of the day. And I keep looking forward to giving you some more things I've learned in the last 12 months. Thanks, everybody.